She looked over at her brother Silver, who, as his name suggests, had silver and white fur with a big bushy tail and white paws. Toto, on the other hand, was a big ball of black, gray, and brown fur, especially with her winter coat on. She had a ruff around her neck, which made her look like a cat that wouldn't be out of place in Elizabethan England, as opposed to where she was really from, a place called Puglia, in the heel of Italy. She and Silver were stray cats, and they had arrived in London only 3 weeks ago after they were rescued by two kind humans, whom they now called Mum and Dad, or as Toto would say, Mama and Papa, the ones who currently lay snoring in their bed. Silver, whispered Toto. Silver, did you hear that? I think it came from outside the bins. Our bins. I didn't hear a thing, said Silver, yawning and stretching. Yes, you did, you liar. That's why you're awake. Look, this is our house now. That means it's our turf. We have to go and investigate. Okay, well, maybe I did hear something, but it could be foxes. Have you seen the size of them? They're not like the countryside ones we're used to. These guys are mean, terrifying. Let's just stay here and wait for it to die down. You're scared, said Toto. Well, no, it's just that it is a very cold night. Plus, the cat flap is such a pain to open and... Oh, yes, all right, I admit it. I'm a bit scared. Look, Toto, we've been in this country all 3 weeks. We're just trying to fit in. It's cold, we're warm-blooded and Italian, and now I've been woken up by who knows what downstairs, and you're asking me to go to investigate? Why don't you go? Silver, that could be a little tricky. I'm blind, remember? Said Toto. Toto had a point. She was as blind as a bat and had been since birth. Actually, that's not totally true. Firstly, she'd already met the neighborhood bat, Eric, and whilst she didn't get a chance to have a chat, something about insects to catch, no time to stop, he certainly didn't seem blind. And secondly, well, she could see something. Up very close, her eyesight was just about okay. But from further away, all she could see were light and dark shapes. She could recognize outlines of things like Mama and Papa, cats like her brother, birds outside. They looked tasty, and really anything that moved. But she always liked to have Silver by her side. Yes, he was a pain at times, teasing her, but like most big brothers, he was fiercely loyal and loved his sister very much. Not that he would ever say that in public. Yes, sis, replied Silver, I know you're blind, but you're also a ninja, remember? Well, now there he had a point. Toto was in fact one of the most skilled ninja cats on Earth, a member of a select elite club of cat ninjas with skills she'd learned as a kitten from her master in Italy, an old ship's cat called Ventura, who had in turn learnt from his master in Japan, who in turn could trace his ninja skills back hundreds of years. In other words, yes, Silver had a point. Toto could look after herself. Fine, said Toto, let's go down together. You for your eyes, and charm, Silver added. Yes, and charm, said Toto, rolling her eyes. And me for your deadly ninja skills, Silver finished. Deal, said Toto. Deal, said Silver.
I stand outside the car next to my father, waiting to enter the powwow grounds. The sounds of the neighborhood overtake my feelings of loneliness. The crackle of tires as cars pull into the gravel parking, the thud of car doors and rubber-soled shoes squishing in wet soil. I feel a sense of emptiness. My heart, my mind, my body, my spirit. I feel broken inside. Today I had woken early, realizing there were times when I don't quite see my world clearly. I had been searching for where I belong. I feel like I'm on the outside, looking in. Whoever I'm with, I don't feel like I fit in. It's been a long, slow struggle for a lot of people like me. I was born in the city, however, I spent my life growing up on Nipissing First Nation, a reserve located along the shorelines of Lake Nipissing in Northern Ontario, Canada. It's a place where my relations have called home for thousands of years. My father never talked much about the culture, though he'd take me for long walks through the bush, telling me stories and capturing brilliant images with his camera. Many years back, the country had passed laws that sought to control First Nations peoples in Canada. It tore my dad's family apart, especially as the laws restricted their movements and their practices. It wasn't their choice. We lost our culture, we lost our traditions, we lost our language. Nowadays, the annual traditional powwow is held in early fall. With other efforts to reclaim the culture, the powwow events help to foster pride among the people and enrich and ensure the survival of our customs and traditions. On this day, my dad and I rush to the top of the bleachers, although it's already crammed, and people are squeezed tightly together. I sit next to a grandmother who's familiar with my family's life stories. She's one of the few remaining keepers of cultural knowledge, history, and our traditions. She's also a successful businesswoman. There aren't many people left like her. There's something in her words that always speak truth to me. The drummers and singers take their seats around Grandfather Drum. They begin to beat out the Grand Entry song with long drumsticks. The drum grows louder as the rhythm speeds up. The vibration travels through my body and deep into my heart, awakening me. Can you hear the sound of the drum beat? Welcome home, dear, the grandmother whispers to me. Our community does these things so the next generation can have access to them. I smile warmly, resting my chin in my hands, staring out across the open grass field, waiting for the dancers to come out. Everyone stands for the elders, veterans, and head dancers and other dignitaries. The Eagle staff and flag carriers lead the Grand Entry, then a parade of dancers is guided into the round area. I lean forward and squint, trying to bring everything at a distance into focus. My dad waves his hands around, signaling for me to get my glasses out. I shrug my shoulders. I feel shy of wearing them in public. Sight is one of your gifts. Gifts are not meant to be taken for granted. It'll help you along your learning journey, shared the grandmother. I half-heartedly pull the glasses out from my backpack. I spray a bit of cleaner on the front and the back of each lens and wipe the liquid around with a soft yellow cloth. I'm careful not to touch the lenses, using 2 hands to put on my glasses. The thick, red-rimmed plastic frames rest comfortably on my nose. It's the first time that I have allowed myself to look through my new eyeglass lenses properly. My eyes automatically open a little wider, and I look around, focusing on the expressive dance styles. The dancers are wearing beautiful regalia with bright flying ribbons and colored materials swinging in time to the beat of the big drum. Grass dance, fancy shawl, intertribal, women's traditional, jingle dress, men's fancy. Some songs and dances come with stories or lessons about special victories, historical roles, love and healing. Some songs test the dancer's speed and agility. Some honor or give thanks to others. Some are social songs. Centuries of history lives in each of the drum beats. Centuries of history breathe in each singer's voice and each dancer's steps. It's the fast, fluid, energetic steps of the women fancy dancers that do hold my attention. They move swiftly like butterflies, with shawls wrapped gracefully over their shoulders and their arms spread out as if they're ready to soar through the air with their wings. I stand in awe, overwhelmed with admiration for the dancers. The gift of sight is a turning point. I'm experiencing my culture in a way that I had not dreamed of. As time rolls on that day, I realize that I'm creating a series of my own images that will last forever in my memory, and can be used to bring stories to others, opening their eyes too. I live in a beautiful world, surrounded by family, history, and tradition. We are a resilient people. We are still here. I am still here. Look around you.